Some voices echo through history, strong and clear, resonating through the ages. They speak to everyone, no matter where they come from or when they lived, transcending time and space. These are the voices of poets, mystics, and dreamers who use words to capture what it means to be alive, to feel, and to dream. One of these voices is Hafez, a Persian poet from the 1300s, whose poems still enchant millions today, bridging centuries with their timeless beauty. His words, filled with love, yearning, and a deep connection to God, are just as meaningful now as they were centuries ago, touching hearts across generations. Hafez, often called the tongue of the unseen, was more than a poet. He was a visionary. He was a mystic, a philosopher, and a careful observer of human nature, delving deep into the human soul. His poems, called ghazals, are known for their beautiful words and deep meaning, exploring the essence of existence. They explore love, loss, and the search for spiritual understanding, painting vivid pictures of the human experience. They show us a world where everyday life and the divine are connected, where the mundane and the sacred intertwine seamlessly, where simple pleasures represent spiritual truths, and every moment holds a deeper meaning. Hafez's poetry encourages us to accept life's ups and downs, to find peace in the ebb and flow of existence. It reminds us that happiness and sadness, love and loss, are all part of being human, and embracing them is part of our journey. His poems take us on a journey of self-discovery, where we face our fears and embrace the power of love, guiding us through the labyrinth of life. It's this timeless quality, this ability to speak to our hearts, that makes Hafez one of the greatest writers of all time, a beacon of wisdom and beauty. His words continue to inspire us, offering comfort and a connection to the beauty and mystery of the universe, reminding us of the eternal dance of life. To understand Hafez's poetry, we need to go back to the 1300s to the city of Shiraz, Persia, where he was born Shams al-Din Muhammad. This city, nestled in the heart of Persia, was a cultural and intellectual hub during that era. Shiraz, famous for its gardens, roses, and writers, was the perfect place for a young artist like Hafez. The city's vibrant atmosphere and natural beauty provided endless inspiration. We don't know much about his childhood. However, the environment he grew up in was rich with cultural and intellectual stimuli. But we know he loved the Quran. He memorized it as a boy, earning the name Hafez, which means one who has memorized the Quran. This deep connection to the Quran influenced his poetic voice profoundly. Hafez also read the works of great Persian poets like Rumi, Attar, and Saadi. Their profound verses and philosophical ideas left a lasting impact on him. These poets, with their mystical poems and Sufi ideas, shaped his writing. Their influence is evident in the spiritual depth and lyrical beauty of his work. Sufism, a mystical form of Islam, focuses on a personal relationship with God. This spiritual path emphasizes love, devotion, and the inner journey. It's a big part of Hafez's poetry, and how he sees love, longing, and being close to God. His verses often reflect the Sufi quest for divine union. Hafez's Shiraz was a city of opposites. It was a place where beauty and turmoil coexisted. It was a time of political trouble and social change. The Mongol invasions had left their mark, and the region was unstable. Yet, amidst this instability, the spirit of the city remained resilient. But even with all the problems, art and culture were thriving. The people of Shiraz continued to create, celebrate, and preserve their rich heritage. This mix of beauty and chaos, of spiritual searching and earthly pleasures, is in Hafez's poetry, making it feel real and true, even centuries later. His work captures the essence of his time and place, resonating with readers across generations. Love is at the heart of Hafez's poetry, a central theme that resonates through his verses. But it's not just romantic love that he explores. It's about all kinds of love, from the excitement of earthly love to the deep desire to be close to God, a divine connection that transcends the physical realm. Wine, which usually represents earthly pleasure, means something more in Hafez's poems. It symbolizes spiritual joy, a way to connect with the divine, a metaphor for the ecstasy of spiritual enlightenment. He's telling us to drink wine not to escape reality but to experience it more fully, to let go of our egos and feel the love that's everywhere, permeating every aspect of existence. Spirituality connected to love and wine is the core of Hafez's poetry, a recurring theme that invites readers to explore deeper meanings. His verses are full of Sufi mysticism, where the beloved represents God, and love is a path to spiritual awakening, a journey towards divine truth. Hafez's poems are full of vivid images, rich in symbolism and meaning. The Nightingale's song represents the soul's desire for God, a longing for spiritual union. The rose, a symbol of beauty and how short life is, reminds us that earthly existence doesn't last forever, urging us to seek deeper truths. Through these powerful symbols, Hafez encourages us to look deeper, to explore our hearts and find the divine spark within, a call to inner reflection and spiritual growth. His poetry shows us the power of love, the beauty of the spiritual path, and the importance of searching for truth and meaning, guiding us towards a more profound understanding of life and existence. Hafez's unusual ideas, often hidden in metaphors and irony, didn't always make the religious and political leaders happy. He believed in love, tolerance, and enjoying life, which some saw as against strict Islamic law. This caused problems with the more conservative people. Some thought his poems about wine, music, and enjoying the present moment were disrespectful. His criticism of corrupt leaders made things worse. But Hafez, with his wit and sharp words, kept challenging the rules, using his poetry to fight injustice. He suffered for speaking out. He was censored and accused of heresy. But the people loved him. They saw themselves in his poems, which protected him from serious punishment. This constant danger, this bravery to speak the truth, gave Hafez's poetry a rebellious energy. It's this spirit of defiance, this commitment to truth, that still speaks to us today, reminding us that the fight for justice and free speech never ends. Hafez's influence goes far beyond Persia. His poetry has touched people all over the world for centuries. Translated into many languages, his ghazals have inspired artists, writers, and thinkers everywhere. Famous Western poets like Goethe loved Hafez's work. Goethe said Hafez's poetry helped him become a better artist. Ralph Waldo Emerson brought Hafez's poems to America, making him a part of Western literature. Hafez's themes of love, loss, and searching for meaning are universal. His poetry gives us hope, reminding us of the power of love to heal, inspire, and connect us to something bigger than ourselves. Even today, people study, celebrate, and reinterpret Hafez's poetry. His verses appear in music, dance, and art, showing how his words inspire creativity in different forms. In Iran, Hafez is more than a poet. He's a cultural icon, a symbol of national pride, and a source of wisdom. His tomb in Shiraz is a place where people from all over the world come to honor him and find inspiration. Hafez's poetry is a big part of Iranian culture. People recite his ghazals at weddings, funerals, and other important events. They use them in traditional music and calligraphy. Even in modern Iran, with all its challenges, Hafez's poetry provides comfort, inspiration, and a connection to the past. His poems about love, resilience, and the human spirit offer hope and strength in difficult times. Hafez's popularity in Iran shows how his words can bring people together, despite political and social differences. He speaks to the heart of Iran, reminding people of their rich culture and the power of art to inspire and unite. Why do Hafez's poems still resonate with us today? Maybe it's because he writes about all human emotions with honesty and beauty. His poems speak to our deepest desires, the desire for love, the search for meaning, the yearning to connect with something bigger than ourselves. Hafez reminds us that life is a journey, with both happy and sad times. He encourages us to accept it all, to find beauty in pain, and to remember the power of love. His poetry shows us how strong the human spirit is, how we can find hope even in dark times. In a world filled with division and uncertainty, Hafez's words offer wisdom and comfort. They remind us of what's truly important: love, compassion, creativity, and the search for truth and beauty. Hafez's poetry is a gift, full of wisdom and beauty waiting to be discovered. It reminds us that even when life is hard, there's always hope, always beauty, and always love to guide us. I invite you to explore the magical world of Hafez's poetry. Open your heart and mind to his timeless verses. Let yourself be carried away by their beauty, their wisdom, and their message of hope and love. Explore the different translations and interpretations of his work. Discover the hidden meanings in his language. Let his words inspire you and awaken your own creativity. Don't just read Hafez passively. Think about his words. How do they connect to your life, your experiences, your search for meaning? Let Hafez's poetry be your guide, your friend, and your inspiration. Let his wisdom light your way, nourish your soul, and remind you of the power of love, beauty, and the human spirit. Because as Hafez himself said, the universe is not outside of you, look inside yourself, everything that you want, you already are.